are coming! The English are coming! On this spot, an event took place which will alter the course of Scottish history. Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, is on the entry of the new park, awaiting the invasion force of Edward II. Bruce's men are ready. They've spent months in preparation, and at present they're scouring the lands, waiting for Edward's army as it approaches. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the original rebel, the revolutionary, the King Robert the Bruce! Bruce has almost consolidated his kingdom. We are now where you stand at present on the entry of the new park. Tradition says that Bruce moved from the Torwood near Falkirk, just a few miles from here, and planted his standard where the current flagpole is, on the site of the Borestone, and waited for Edward's army to invade. On either side of the Roman road, he dug small pits to the depth of a man's knee and covered them over in order to halt the heavy cavalry attack from England. Bruce is confident, as is his men, and he's about to address them.
Warriors of Scotland, now is our chance. If we're going to take this, we take them now. We must stop them tonight. We must hold them. Are you with me?
What was that? Are you with him?
Hey!
It's a crowd with the Bruce!
Are you with me?
It's a bit more like it. But of course, Bruce faces a formidable enemy. The English vanguard are on its way, headed up by the Earl of Gloucester and Earls of Hereford. Approaching is the young English knight, Sir Henry de Bohun. Give it up for Sir Henry de Bohun. Come on, it's 2014, no 1314. Give him a round of applause, come on. He's big, he's bad, he's blue. Henry de Bohun. Henry de Bohun is the Earl of Hereford's nephew. And while Bruce is talking to his troops and addressing them, de Bohun spots his chance. Bruce is only lightly armed with a small axe, whereas de Bohun has his full destrier and but Bruce is clever, and at the last moment he moves his horse to one side and splits de Bohun's skull from the head right down to the crest. I think he's definitely dead. This is Bruce's moment of glory, and in reflection, Bruce addresses his men and tells them,
I brought my bloody axe! Is that the best you've got?
This is Bruce's moment of glory. It sends a little mini shockwave to the troops and proves that the king can truly handle himself. This is a part of his legend. Oh, he's got a new axe now. Of course, for the rest of the afternoon, the rest of the vanguard will start to arrive. This is a formidable force. Edward has requested around 21,640 troops to come. The baggage train, the supply lines alone, are said to have tailed back. He's enclosed areas, he's slashed and burned most of Lothian to basically make sure there is nothing left at all for the English to feed on or shelter under. And here we have Bruce preparing his men. Each man is armed with a 12-foot spear, perhaps a small axe or dagger, and each spear has a heavy iron tip on it. He's divided his men into 3 divisions. Give it up for the Scots, ladies and gentlemen. These men are veterans of the Wars of Independence. They've fought with Bruce for years and are practiced. But they're guerrilla fighters. They don't fight pitched battles. They don't normally line up and meet the enemy face to face. They're used to nighttime attacks, scaling walls and then destroying castles. Hit and run tactics, so to speak. This is a new way of warfare for them, actually having to fight a pitched battle. You can see they're dressing up here just now, in forming lines of tight battles of men known as a schiltron. These spearmen will be able to halt heavy horse in the charge of a destrier. However, they are prone to archers and crossbowmen. It's absolutely vital that the archers are taken out very quickly. Let's see if we can hear them saying their chanting of Bruce. In the meantime, the English vanguard arrive in the afternoon under the Earls of Hereford and Gloucester. Give it up for the Earl of Gloucester. He looks good in yellow. Gloucester is 23. He brings with him a contingent of 500 knights, all of England, who traditionally should lead the charge. However, the incompetent Edward II has placed them both in joint command. This already is not going well for the invading army under Edward II. Both men despise each other. Both men are rivals. Hereford should be the leader, but of course we have a division even before the battle takes off. At present, if we cast the scores, it's Scotland 1, Edward II 0. The boon has been struck down. Give it up for the infantry under Edward II. You can actually see how long it would take an army to arrive, and this is just a small amount. You imagine thousands of men and how difficult it would be to cross terrain. But of course Gloucester and Hereford are completely at odds with each other, and they begin to argue.
You got something to say, boy?
What are you doing here, old man? I command this line.
You may command it, but I'm the Constable of England, and I'm in charge of you.
And I've had more victories in this campaign
I
than you
don't
have
care
in
how
your
many
life.
victories you've had. Why am I going to put a boy like you in charge of this lot? A boy who spends longer in the bathroom than my wife!
Well, at least I grew myself.
Whoa.
You look like a scabby ferret.
Easy. We can stand here and bant all day, but I'd rather kick them over there.
Go on,
Go round.
So they put aside their differences and begin to charge at the Scots, who are ready.
Go on.
But the Scots stand firm. Pits take their toll, breaking horses' legs and throwing men. Gloucester and Hereford are unable to break through, and in their frustration they throw their maces, their darts and their swords at the Scots.
Go on.
And these brave Scots stand firm. If you want something done, you've got to do it yourself. Oh, there you go. That's a big horse. Of course, they're unable to break through these lines, and the Scots hold firm. This massive wall of pikemen, this massive wall of death, is awaiting anybody who tries to attack it. And it looks like the Scots are going to have a little pot shot. So here we go. You can see just how effective this is. 3 lines deep, each carrying a 12-foot pike. It's absolutely impossible. It's like a combine harvester coming at you. And you can see the back of the schiltron. Oh dear! Oh, it's rotten! Oh, did he stand downwind of a schiltron? Oh, it's make my eyes water. So you can see that the Scots are pressing forward here, trying to push the English vanguard back. And for those who can't see anything, a man with a beard and a big pointy stick is pushing it at another man with a beard with a wee sword. Apart from that, you're not really missing much. The vanguard are pressed back. You've dropped your stick. So you can see here just how effective a Shiltron is. Highly effective fighting force.
We'll have them next time, boys.
I would run away if I were you. So poor Edward II. Poor Edward II has been again defeated. I think someone's left us behind. Straight on eBay. Okay, so what you can see here is a highly effective fighting force. Each man, as I said, is armed with a 12-foot pike or spear, heavy iron tip. They may also, in amongst them, have knives. Knifemen amongst them would actually be the job to, once the knight has been unhorsed, they would finish the job by basically slaughtering him, or perhaps using an axe. So they're now split into 3 divisions. Each man has also got light armour on, some of them. Some of them have chainmail. Some of them have padded coats. Some of them just have boiled leather. It just really depended what they could get their hands on at the time. Remember, this is a guerrilla force. And as they come towards you, they're going to give you a demonstration of how a Shiltron works. This will also be a photograph opportunity for people. Just remain within the roped area, as a big pike to the face often offends. I would keep a few feet away from the pikes, and keep a couple of feet away from their mouths as well. You just don't know where they've been. Oh dear. Now at the moment you can hear orders of right wheel or which really means left or right. Come on, you're not posing for Facebook here. Hurry up. It's a medieval GQ photo shoot. My interests are rolling about in the dirt, eating oats, and killing people. But you can see just how effective this force is, this deadly wall of death, these pikes, so quickly. And Bruce spent months training these men against their own horses. Right, lads, do it again, do it again, do it again. It is absolutely essential they get this right. If one man breaks rank, he leaves a gap, and that would allow the horses to come in and attack. And I'm standing well away from them because the smell of WD-40 is quite overpowering. Oh dear, someone's done it. Oh dear sir, I think you've really upset them. Oh sorry madam, is that a beard you have? No, I can't. Oh dear. She's hairier than the guys on the field. Each has a commander. For example, this is the steward here, Walter the steward, who would later on father the Stuart dynasty. We also have Edward Bruce, Neil Campbell of Lochawe, Douglas and Sir Thomas Randolph. the good Sir James or the Black Douglas and Sir Thomas Randolph are Bruce's greatest generals. They're responsible. Ooh. Beep, 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 beep. But the men are ready and prepared for battle. So far, to recap, Edward II is camped up on the high ground. He notices that a second detachment under the veteran Sir Robert Clifford, who has fought against Bruce before, and Henry Beaumont, begin to move out. And they basically come around from the north side of the current New Park. And at the last minute, Bruce realises what they're trying to do. They may be trying to outflank the Scots, or they may be on a reconnaissance mission to try and reach Stirling Castle, and also just to see how many men Bruce has up here. They know they have infantry, but they don't know numbers. Give it up, please, for the veteran Sir Robert Clifford and Henry Beaumont. Settle down. With them, they would also have William D'Eyncourt and Thomas Grey. Thomas Grey became a prisoner and actually wrote an account later on of the Battle of Bannockburn. So the army, the cavalry forces, meanwhile head towards St Ninian, and Bruce realises this and sends his nephew Sir Thomas Randolph down straight to engage the cavalry charge at St Ninian's. But it's a last minute thing. In fact, he even says to Sir Thomas Randolph, "A rose has fallen off your chaplet," which basically translated nowadays is, get your finger out and get down there and sort them out. So Robert Clifford formed up and blocked the path of Clifford. Sounds like a challenge. Yay! 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 Oh dear! And D'Eyncourt's away. Oh, he's having a bit of trouble there. Oh, he's down. He's down. He's off. He's had enough. Quite right. Oh, easy now. That's quite enough of that. This kid's watching, please. Thank you. They get enough mindless violence at home. Thank you. It looks like Sir Thomas Grey's going for it again. Regardless of the poor attempt by the cavalry, don't hurt him. Oh, take him prisoner. He's worth a fortune. I can sell stuff on eBay. Don't do that. Oh. I give up. And the Scots press on, forcing the attack by Clifford and Beaumont on again. It looks like there's some negotiation going on. No, do the best thing you can and run away. Left foot, right foot, your body will follow. Give up for the Scots, they've won another victory. 3 in the afternoon. And give it up for the poor man being dragged away there. I think he's left his dignity lying here. And of course, that's 3 victories, or 3 bloody noses, so to speak, on Edward II's face. But the English army is still arriving. And although the Scots have won this particular element of the day, there's still an element of, will they continue to fight? The English themselves cannot breach through the Roman road, so what they do is they move down towards the Carse of Stirling, and they cross the Bannockburn. In order to cross the Bannockburn, they have to take down the roofs and houses of the local population, which were not best pleased at having a door removed and your roof of your house taken away, and they cross over the Bannockburn. Give it up for the Scots. Well done, chaps. All right, Glory Hunter, go on. On you go. There's the camera, eh? So the English move down and they camp on the Carse between the Pell Stream and the Bannockburn, 2 rivers. And this affords protection for them, and it also gives them an area where they can water the horses. It gives them protection, and they camp down. There's disunity amongst the English army. Edward II hasn't even bothered to come out and talk to them and say, well done, chaps. I'm a bit of a team building here. Didn't bother. Hereford and Gloucester are still at each other's throats. But meanwhile, back in the Scots camp, Bruce decides if he's going to fight or not, because technically he's done what he had to do. So a Scottish knight called Sir Alexander Seton makes his way in the utter disgust at the way the English are and the way Edward II's leadership, with all of them arguing each other and the dismay, and Alexander Seton moves all the way up and onto this area in the New Park.
My Lord Bruce, I bring news from the English camp. The English are weak, their morale is low and they're leaderless. They squabble among themselves, the knights cannot agree, and even King Edward himself cannot save himself from these petty quabbles. I cannot abide to stand with these men a moment longer and wish to join you and tell you that if you press your advantage and strike the English, then you will break them and you can have a true victory.
But the thing is, can you be trusted, man?
Aye, my lord, to death.
Will you join us?
It would be an honour.
War Council, now!
Seaton's not the only Scot who actually fights on the side of the English army. When Robert the Bruce seized the throne, it was a very bitter pill for most of the nobility and Scots to swallow. It's only slowly but surely over the years, as Bruce was more successful, more rallied to his cause. And as Bruce moves off, he decides that he will fight another day. The Scots have won a remarkable victory on the 23rd, and Bruce will decide to attack at first light. Meanwhile, the English army spend an uncomfortable night on the Carse. Some of them sleep in their armour, some of them are panicked. When Clifford and Beaumont come back, they're missing weaponry they'd thrown at the Scots. The other armies arrived, they're like, we've been beaten 3 times already today? How'd that happen? You can imagine the confusion that's going on in their heads. And the knights that are there want to fight for glory. They're hired killers, that's what they do. But the common infantrymen from places like Northumbria and Cumbria, Yorkshire, they probably didn't want to fight. And these guys have spent a miserable night on the Carse, in a boggy area, covered with midges. Not very nice. So Bruce decides to attack at first light. He assembles his men, and they begin to move down from this high ground, which is unusual. He decides to take the battle to Edward II. And they emerge slowly but surely through Balquiderick Wood and move out towards the Carse. So at first light, Bruce's men emerge from the trees and then suddenly come to a halt. Meanwhile, the English are encamped. Some of them are up. Some of them are beginning to prepare themselves for battle, but they're caught unaware. They don't expect the Scots to fight. What are they doing down in the Carse? One chronicle states there's a brief exchange of arrow fire between the Scots and the English, and the Scots come off worse and they move back into the woods, or the Scottish archers do, and then the Chiltern kneels in prayer and is blessed by the Bishop of Inchaffrey. This is an important ceremony. They're asking for mercy. They're asking to be blessed. But at the same time, this allows Bruce a great opportunity to make sure that all the men have arrived and no one's been left behind. And Bruce addresses his men.
This is our finest and greatest chance. We can defeat them, and we will defeat them if we stand together. Are you with me? Yeah. Are you with me?
Yeah. Are the crowd with Bruce?
Yeah.
And so the Scots kneel in prayer. And whilst they're being blessed, Edward II himself witnesses them kneeling in prayer, and he remarks from across his pavilion, looking across at the Scots, "Ah, they ask for mercy." And Sir Ingram de Umfraville, a Scottish knight on Edward II's side, says, "Aye, they ask for mercy, but no for you." So basically, they're asking for mercy for what they're about to do and the carnage they're about to bring on. But the leadership under Edward II are still at odds with each other. This is a religious day, and basically they shouldn't be fighting. There's a deep, deep rift between King Edward II of England and Gloucester. Give it up for King Edward II. Here he comes. Give it up for Edward II. A little bit. Oh dear. Well, he wasn't very popular in 1314 amongst his own people. And it doesn't look like he's very popular here. But there's a really, really deep argument about to ensue. Gloucester goes to Edward and asks for time for the men to rest, and basically he's accused of cowardice.
There! I left you in charge! Protect my camp! All you had to do!
I requested resources to put sentries out to stop this from happening. To prevent
I gave
this.
you men! You had the men!
All my men are fighting for you! They're all already fighting for you! What do you expect, sire? They need to eat, they need to sleep, they need to rest. They've been marching for hundreds of miles.
They're professional soldiers! Professional soldiers against peasants! Peasants! You're asking the coward's tactic!
Oh, that's got a heart.
You're a coward and a fool!
I'll show you I'm not a coward!
Can you imagine possibly what it must have been like for poor Gloucester? All he's doing is wanting a rest. And basically, he's been called a coward in front of the leading nobility of England. He wouldn't be able to stomach that, a man of his prestige. So he jumps on his horse, and in almost a suicidal charge, he'll rush straight at the Scots. Perhaps another point of view may have been that he knew exactly what the Scots were doing, because Bruce has to close the gap between himself and the cavalry charge. So it may have been Gloucester was the first to realise that, and he's trying to prevent the Scots. Either way, a horrific moment in the battle is about to take place, as Gloucester races off and charges deep within the Chiltern. Or perhaps not, because she's not. Go on, you can do it. No. Well, let's prove a point here. Would you go rushing at 60 guys with big pointy sticks? Whoa! Gloucester's been brought down, and he's murdered, killed slowly. Don't worry, the horse is fine. Gloucester's not. But this sends a shockwave to the English army, because they're killed. The vanguard then attack the Scots, who stand firm and move them back. Again, the cavalry is pushed back, and what happens, of course, is the cavalry is pushed back on top of its own army, which is pretty horrific. Horses go flying into men. And what the greatest point is now is the fact is that although Edward outnumbers the Scots almost 3 to 1, they're now at a disadvantage. Will you settle down, please? I'm trying to talk here. They're trying to be at a disadvantage. The fact is the sheer numbers will be their downfall as they're pressed towards the Bannockburn and the steep gorge. But it looks like the Scots are ready. Are the English confident?
Are the English... Sorry, I don't speak your language. Are the English confident? Of course we're confident. Look at them, they're starved. Well, some of them aren't starved, but they eat haggis and... yeah, they're not that hard to beat. We were lulling them into a false sense of security earlier on. This time we're going to have them.
You speak quite clear English for an Anglo-Norman. Oh, and there's an arrow off. Oh! Of course, if Edward had managed to release the archers originally, this battle would have been a different case. but they're soon cleared off by Sir Thomas Randolph. This is personal and nasty stuff. It's down to the real nitty-gritty of it. That's got a heart. Oh, not as much as that is. But slowly but surely the Scots fight. Keep consistently pushing Edward II's forces back towards the Bannockburn. Towards the end of the battle, the small folk arrive. And the Edward II and his armies, believing this is a secondary expedition force, he's dragged from the field. Edward II is dragged from the field by his own men, where he makes his way to Stirling Castle and is refused entry. He then makes his way to Dunbar and escapes. That's got a heart. That was uncalled for. Oh, dearie me. But what Bruce does do is he actually takes a great deal of prisoners, which he exchanges for his family. He takes Hereford, which he exchanges for... Oh, there's still a bit of fighting going on. Take them prisoner. Don't kill him. No, he's worth a fortune. Don't you dare kill... Oh! I might have guessed. A Campbell, eh? A Campbell. Well, give it up for the Scots. It looks like they're victorious, ladies and gentlemen. So that's Robert the Bruce 4, Edward II, nothing.